We're on the home stretch to our goal of 100,000 for a new sheet bar, and I have a feeling this is it. We should be gathering the last of what we need, going on a selling bonanza, and if I've calculated things right, have enough to buy our new sheet bar. It's a new day and a new month on the farm. We're in October and have only until February to buy the sheet bar. Where we left off last time was having planted our barley and needed to continue getting the field weeded and fertilized. So we'll just grab our weeder we have temporarily parked over at our neighbor's. I plan to make a proper yard of our own and not have our equipment scattered all over the fringes of the surrounding farms, but we need disposable income for that, and we're just not there yet. But let's get going with the weeding. I think we have a problem. Yes, there's definitely a few weeds left behind, or at least it looks that way. Let me go a little farther so we can see what's going on the map. Yeah, it's partially weeded, but there's a few being left behind. So the dilemma is, will it cost me more to complete the de-weeding of the field or accept the loss from the weeds? I could rent a hoe. The cheapest one is $2,600, or I could spray the field. We have a sprayer, but almost no fertilizer in that IBC, and the herbicide is $2,400, almost the same price. I'm just not sure how much crop I'll lose at this point, but I think what I'll do is continue with the weeder I already own and finish the field with that. Then we know we need to fertilize the field, so we'll spray that and see what the total yield is. I think we usually get about 95% because we're not doing the small extras like rolling. So by looking at the total yield on the field, we'll be able to get a better idea if we should do something or if we're okay just leaving it alone. But let's finish the field with the weeder and take one step at a time. All right, we're done with the weeder, and it does visually look like it got most of the weeds, so maybe it's not too bad. We'll do two things here at once. Let's get our pallet fork loaded and on and get up to the store to buy the fertilizer. And while we're there, fix up the tractor and the weeder. Get everything in top working order. Fertilizer is on board, so back to the farm. We'll drop this off here by the sprayer. We'll be spraying here shortly, but we'll drop off the weeder back at our neighbor and move a couple pallets of lettuce, since we have the pallet fork on. I think what I can do is just stack it on top of the other pallet. They don't spawn all that quickly, and we'll be selling them off here in just 2 or 3 months, so that should be fine. Okay, let's drop the whole front assembly. We don't need that. It's just producing wear and tear if we drive it around attached, and attach the front weight, and get our sprayer loaded up and get this field fertilized. It's a good sprayer, big working with, and it's just the thing we need for these second rounds of fertilizer. Okay, that chore is done. Now let's check on the sheep. Yes, our new baby sheep have arrived right on schedule, bringing us up to 48 sheep total. And look here, our oldest sheep are now worth $675. That's so good. These next oldest sheep will be giving 12 more sheep in just 2 months. That'll give us the 60 sheep I talked about in the previous episode, which means we won't have any more room for another full round of births, due in March. We'll have 5 slots. The barn holds 65 sheep, but we're getting 12 at a time, so we don't want to lose any by being out of space. So that new sheep barn is a must. This second set of silage is our ticket getting there, and it's well on its way to being fermented. So yes, everything is going to plan. We need to keep an eye on this canola. It'll be the other big money maker and what will be ready to sell next. We just need to watch the price of things and get the very best price we can. I've estimated $25,000 for the harvest, but anything more than that is also really welcomed. It says 772 is its high point for the year, and we're at 772, now with the arrow falling. But I don't believe it. I think if we wait, it'll go up next month in November, and we can get a little more. So we'll gamble and wait. And also keep an eye on the eggs, which also is about ready to sell. Then we also have the lettuce and all the important silage. The sheep have no idea they're in for an upcoming move, but they'll enjoy the extra space. What I've decided to do is to do a little prep work in advance. I sized up the sheep barn, where to place it and all that, and these trees along the side of the road need to come down. They are just the decorative ones that came with the map, so they're not worth that much money, but we'll get them cut down and sold. As much as I've talked about the repairs on this tractor, it's been a very good machine. It's done every task on the farm since the beginning, and it looks like it'll still be our workhorse for a while. So we'll get the log fork and then go get the trailer converted to help load the logs. Okay, so that's the 2 trees I wanted to remove in the trailer, and it doesn't look like that much wood. They were just the small decorative trees, but I was hoping they'd be a little bit more. I still hold out hope though, and take a guess at $2,500. Oh wow, half of what I thought. But at least it's something. We'll convert the trailer back and get ready for the egg transport, which should be the next thing I think I'll need the trailer for. Okay, we watched the prices through the night, and the eggs seem to be peaking. They're well above the typical high market value, so we'll get these sold and start adding to the bank account. Here we are at the bakery, so let's watch as the money rolls in. $3,300, a welcomed addition. Every bit helps. But what we'll do now is go to the train station and wait for the price of our canola to peak. Okay, we're at $832, over $100 more than what was listed as peak. So we'll call the train to get our grain loaded and sold. It's nighttime, but you still get a nice view of the countryside riding the train. I always like the train rides. There we go. $28,000 in revenue. Very good. By being patient and watching the price, we got $3,000 more than what we anticipated, so it was worth it. Now, let's get back to the farm and do a couple last chores down at the greenhouse and chicken area before December. We'll get these chickens topped up with food. I know they'll be happy to have a full trough, and we'll stack a little more lettuce just to make sure we have room. All right, that's it for November. We'll pass the day and get ready for a crisp December morning. Now, this month, we don't have a whole lot to do, I don't think. The prices of our silage and lettuce shouldn't be at their best until January, but we don't want to just do nothing for a whole month. We don't have any rules against it, and there may be a month every now and then that we just bypass, but this isn't one of them. Our grass field is ready for harvest, so I think we'll do all the mowing, baling, and rolling and turn out another batch of silage. It'll still be a couple months before the silage is fermented and ready to sell, but we can get it wrapped and set off to the side. The last episode, I was complimenting my baler, but I'll also say this mower was a great purchase. It's the Kong-Skilled 3605, and it collects the grass into a nice swath, so I don't need a windrower. It's also expandable with a rear attachment that'll double or triple the working width. It's an expensive piece, the rear part, compared to the front attachment, but it is available and might be something we can get one day. But for now, let's get on with the baling. You know, I've had a change of mind. I've been watching the silage price, and it's been getting stagnant for a very long time at $192, which is its peak listed price. It'll take 4 loads of the fermented silage to sell it all, so I'll go ahead and get one trailer loaded and sold. So I want to do it all at once. Then we'll continue with the baling. While fiddling with the straps, I've unwrapped some bales. We can still sell them as grass, they're just not worth as much. Not a big loss, but an unnecessary one. We'll just continue on though, mistakes will be made. It took me a hot minute to remember I had to push the bales off to sell them at the biogas plant, but we did it and got a nice addition to the bank account. But we still need to finish the baling, so let's continue on with that. I've been getting better at making a nice single line of bales. I'm very proud of myself. But now that the baling is all done, we'll get the roller attached and go for a round of repairs and get the field rolled. We're just repairing constantly now. One thing I'll mention is that I messed up a little bit with the mowing. I lost count of how many months had passed since we last baled it, and cut it after only 2 months. rather than waiting for the fuller grown 3 months. It's not terrible, but wasn't what I intended. But who knows? It may work out in my favor. It could bring in some money just in time. All right, the rolling is done. Now, all we have to do to get the money for the sheep barn is watch the prices and load and sell our goods. That is not a very well stacked trailer. And it's showing. We're losing our bales. But nothing we can't fix. Okay, that's another trailer of silage sold. We're up to 82,000. Let's go get some more. Very good. We've got 101,000, enough for the sheep barn. But before we make our new purchase, let's get the rest of it sold, including the lettuce, so we can see our grand total. So silage has come off its peak price, but it is indicating a rise. So we'll wait a little on this last silage load, probably into January, and sell the last of that silage. This was not my fault, I swear. He just pulled in front and slammed on the brakes. Okay, 108,000 with the silage. Now let's go get that lettuce. This lettuce is the last thing to sell before buying the barn. It's starting to snow, we're watching the price increase, and trying to keep ourselves busy with odd jobs while we wait for the price to get at its best. Okay, the lettuce is sold. We have over 113,000. We did it. We made our $100,000 goal plus some and did it within the 6 months. We can buy our new sheep barn, but purchase and placement will have to wait until daylight. So subscribe and hit the bell to be notified for the next episode, because the farm is going to start taking off with a second herd of sheep and more. See you next time.